Okay, playing the ukulele, the basics. So the first thing we talked about in the online lesson is correct posture. You can't play a musical instrument to your potential if you're not having the right posture. So on ukulele, what does that mean? It means this is pretty much how you want it to look. You want the ukulele at about a 45-degree angle, a little less than 45. And to accomplish that, I almost always have my right leg a little higher. The most comfortable for me is crossing my leg, but sometimes I'll just raise up my knee or my ankle so I can kind of have this posture happening. Kids can accomplish this by putting a little book or something they can put their foot on, or a little stool, or anything that's convenient. But you want to try to have this kind of posture, not this, all these wacky ways that I've seen. Save yourself some trouble and adopt a good posture from the onset. So the ukulele has 4 strings, and from the top right here is G, C, E, and A. So those will come in handy when you need to tune your instrument. So basic fret talking. How do we fret a note? The proper technique. So these frets, that's how we change pitch on the ukulele or any kind of stringed instrument like this. As we go up, the pitch gets higher and higher. So the proper way to fret any fret is just behind the metal, just behind the bar there. And you'll want to put a good amount of pressure down, but as you get little calluses on your fingers, you won't need to. You find a little sweet spot to where you're not really pressing too hard. But in the beginning, you will need to press a little harder than usual. So you want to be right behind the metal, not on the metal, right? And not all the way back here, like a good comfortable distance that's pretty much right on the fret without, being on top of it. So then I talked about how to read tab. That's easier if you check it out in the lesson. Tablature is a numerical sort of writing notation for the ukulele or guitar. Makes it a lot easier than standard notation, so you're not learning the notes too. I just found that tab works a lot better for getting people up and going with actually playing. And then next we have some open chords. I'll just go through all of them. So here's C major, A minor, A major, F major, G major. So there's this fingering, I'm barring my first finger, or you could do this, whatever's easier. E minor, D minor, right? And D major. That's tough. In addition to playing the open chords, you can also be working on your single string plucking. And there's a couple ways to do it. I like to use either my middle finger or index finger. Some people like to use their thumb. Some people like to use a pick. And I suggest that if you're going to use a pick with the ukulele, it's a thin one. This one's heavy, so don't use that. That's for my guitar. And the best way to kind of practice the single note playing is the do, re, mi, the C major scale. So here it is. So this is like the do, re, mi, do, a deer, a female deer, made famous by The Sound of Music. And it really makes a good study because the major scale, it's the building block of all Western music. And everybody kind of has that sound in your head of what it's supposed to sound like. So once you can do that C major scale ascending, you can just come right back down, and it makes a really good exercise. Once you can kind of do that, you can start learning other easy melodies, and one that I like to do almost off the bat is this Brother John, because each of the phrases, it just repeats, and it's and everybody knows this melody, so here it is. So once you get these things going, I have a couple other lessons on the ukulele on my site. One is about some more melodies and some songs you can play with some of the open chords. And the other one is some movable shapes for the instrument, kind of like on the guitar, these bar chords where you can be moving the same shape is now different chords depending on where you move it. So I would move on to those. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on my site. Thank you so much.